In this video, there are many coaching tips for both individuals and corporations. Now, on some levels, coaching these types is actually very different, but on some levels, they're actually the same. No matter what type of coaching you're doing, individuals or corporations, there are always suggestions that you're going to give for improvement. You're always looking for some type of improvement in that company or in that individual. Also, as a coach, you always want whoever you're working with, whoever you're coaching, to act on what you're suggesting. You want them to have a little bit of accountability in the matter of actually taking action. You can't do the entire job for them. The outcome is hopefully the same, no matter who you're working with, that there's some type of improvement that's going to happen as a result of your coaching. So let's talk about some tips for coaching individuals. Listen more than you talk. Ask questions more than you give advice. As a coach, you're always going to want to make sure that your client is a big part of your focus, and yet you're not just giving them some type of speech or something like that. So lots of questions and giving them a chance to talk, actually more than you're going to be sharing the information you want to give them, is quite important. Next, be supportive of the individual, even if you see where they need to change. You always want to make sure you're the head cheerleader for the individual that you're coaching, and that you're not just there to break them down or critique them or something like that. Get them to solve their own problems. The questioning type of approach should help with that. Simply facilitate the solutions coming from your client. So if the chances are your client's already going to have some solutions that they can come up with or that come from the dialogue that you have with them, and really support them in those solutions. Don't just give them the solution that you think is always best. Listen for important or unspoken needs. No matter whether you're in person or if you're on the phone, you really want to see if you can drill deeper than just the surface conversation. Use your intuition to figure out what questions to ask next. Your intuition is going to kind of give you some kind of secret hidden answers, and you want to act on that. Part of what you're paid for as a great coach is to be somewhat intuitive and actually bring that out in your conversation with your client. That's a lot of times what your clients are in need of, is to respond to their own intuition. So you got to start and be the example there. Next, give more than you get. Have an attitude of gratitude. This is so important because, as a coach, you're going to be giving tons of energy, and a lot of times you won't get anything back. You won't have any energy or response back from the client. You got to be okay with that. And having an attitude of gratitude is a great place to start with that, because then you'll feel okay even if your client doesn't really give you all the kudos that you were hoping for. Next, smile even if you're just on the phone. People can hear your smile over the phone. Next, help those that you coach feel your appreciation, your love for them. That'll make them want to do what you ask. That'll make them want to really respond to your coaching. And finally, treat everyone as if you're talking to your best friend. Next, let's talk about some coaching tips for corporations. Notice the individual and their strengths. Now, I know you might say, well, Jeff, we're talking about corporations here, and you're going right back to the individual. Well, that's actually the case. It's so important to focus on individuals in a corporate coaching environment and find their strengths. That's the value they're going to bring to the corporation. Next, look for weaknesses which others have strengths that can actually make up for those. So if you find somebody you're coaching has a certain weakness, maybe somebody else in the corporation can make up for that. Maybe somebody else has that as a strength. Next, look for ways to unify the team. Next, ask employees where they see the problems are. You may be surprised at the differences between what you see and what they see. Next, look for similarities between the employees that can help bind them together. A common mission, a common vision, a common set of values. Next, ask how you can help. Rather than immediately thinking you know the answers, really ask a lot of questions, just like you would with coaching individuals, and see what answers are already there within the individuals working in that corporation. Next, be bold and tell them what you hear and ask if it's accurate. Use a little reflective listening with them. Next, if doing team building activities, look for modifications that you may need to bring to the table in case frustration arises. Come up with more activities than you have time for, and then do the activities that really fit the needs of the group best, so you can have some flexibility there. And facilitate discussion if it's appropriate. And finally, have somebody come with you, or somebody that's within the group actually take notes and write them up so employees can actually review what did they experience, what was talked about, and they can actually go over this again, even if they didn't have a chance to take notes during a discussion. So I hope these helped, and review these tips as often as you need to get ideas on how you can work with an individual or a corporation that you're coaching. And really search for the best people for you to work with when you're coaching. You may also want to try many different types of clients, but whatever you do as a coach, make a commitment to get better so you can help others even more tomorrow.